第10组，请准备。APPLE， 这是什么啊？
苹果啊，不是，难道你没学过吗？
当然没有啊，我还沉浸在苏语词的美妙世界里耶。
啊，不是现在啊，现在不是正在推行双语政策吗？怎么会看过这些英文字母？
双语政策，这个跟外语有关吗？那我以后是不是就要在班上讲英文？可是听说学校里的老师不够而且外师跟本土的老师的课程会不会瞧不拢啊？
好了，我具体也不清楚，不然就请崇瑞他们来报告吧。
接下来欢迎陈崇瑞、刘玉勋2位带来的报告。
主题是 Case Study: The difficulties that teachers have met under the bilingual education policy, taking Changhua Girls Senior High School bilingual experimental class for example.
Hi, we are Changhua and Liu Yuxun. Today, we are going to introduce our essay, The Difficulties the Bilingual Teachers Have Met Under the Bilingual Policy, taking Changhua Girls Senior High School for example. Our essay is divided into 5 parts: introduction, literature review, research method, analysis and results, conclusion and suggestions. Introduction. Let's talk about background first. Due to globalization, English plays a very important role nowadays. In order to increase the competitiveness of Taiwanese students, the government launched a lot of policies to increase the students' English ability, and it aims to develop Taiwan into a bilingual nation by 2030. One of the policy is bilingual experimental class. In short, the class is using English in content subjects such as science and history. Next part is motivation. After reading some reports about bilingual education, we found that Taiwan's bilingual teachers seems to face many difficulties under the bilingual policy. According to Zhengda Fuzhong's bilingual teacher Tao, he indicates that the governments are overlooking the teachers' hard work in class. And the current measures and numbers of bilingual teachers also highlight how inconsistent the bilingual education system is. Therefore, teachers are at a loss now. Luckily, Changhua Girls Senior High School just established their bilingual experimental class in 2020. Curious about the situation of bilingual teachers, we decided to interview 2 teachers in a class. First teacher is their career teacher. She will share some interesting things, such as how she collaborates with the foreign teacher. And the second teacher is a foreign teacher. She helps the bilingual teacher with PE, writing, career, and science classes. These are our research purposes. First, we want to know the details of bilingual policy by reviewing the literature. Second, we want to know the difficulties the bilingual teachers have met under the bilingual policy by interviewing the 2 teachers. At last, after reviewing literatures and interview the 2 teachers, we will provide some suggestions and solutions to the governments to help bilingual teachers. Literature review. Literature review is divided into 3 parts. The first one is definition. What is bilingual education? And the second one is how to create a good bilingual learning environment. After knowing the factors of a good learning environment, we will go through overall English learning sectors in Taiwan to see whether Taiwan is a good learning environment for bilingual education. Definition. According to Cambridge Assessment International Education, the bilingual education is used 2 or more languages. There are 2 types of bilingual education. One is to use first language in some non-language subjects and use the alternative language in the other non-language subjects. The other is to teach same subjects with 2 languages. Taiwan's government aims to launch clear teaching method It's more like the second type. If a teacher uses clear methods in the case, if the teacher will use both measuring and English in the class. If a concept of knowledge is hard for students to understand, the teacher will use measuring to explain it. When it comes to class instructions and activities, the teacher will use English to interact with students. The next part is how to create a good learning environment. According to Texas Education Agency, there are 3 factors. First, district leadership is essential for schools. It can provide professional training, including regular training practices. It could not only facilitate a linguistic growth, but also elevate the knowledge about bilingual education, pedagogies of every teaching staff. And the most important is teaching staff. Bilingual teachers should adjust their teaching method frequently to meet the students' English ability. In addition, the teacher should closely monitor the progress of each student to ensure that every student, especially the English minority students, can well absorb what they learn from the class. The last part is current status. According to Professor Lin Zibing, who is an expert in bilingual education, it indicates that there is a wide gap in bilingual education. Aside from lacking an environment to use English in Taiwan, there is also a lack of coherence across from elementary school, junior high school to senior high school, in terms of teacher training, curriculum content, and teaching materials. Well, it comes a lot of problems. First, what abilities should bilingual teachers have? A high school certification such as TOEIC, or a good ability to teach students in English? Should governments hold some workshop or courses to help teachers teach in English? And the most important question is, what is bilingual education? Lots of people and teachers don't know what exactly the bilingual education is. And the second part is our research method. After deciding a topic, we're reviewing lots of literature and develop interview questionnaire to interview 2 teachers in a bilingual class. At that, we will come up with some suggestions and solutions and provide them to the government to help bilingual teachers.
Hi, I'm Owen. In the analysis and results, we interview a career planning teacher and a foreign teacher in the bilingual experimental class of Changhua Girls Senior High School. According to the interview, we found that teachers in the bilingual class have met 3 major problems. That is, integrating English into courses, students' reaction in class, and conducting class preparation and co-teaching with the foreign teacher. And I will explain the 3 difficulties above one by one. First of all, integrating English into courses. According to the career planning teacher, she said that it is a challenging thing for her to present some textbook context in English. Besides, she also mentioned that she needs to spend some time thinking about how to give students feedback in English about their homework or presentation. From the interview content above, we can know that the bilingual teachers sometimes feel it difficult to teach in English, especially when the content is related to the terminology. Apart from improving bilingual teachers' English ability, the government doesn't provide clear instruction or teaching materials to use or follow. And let's move on to the second one, students' reaction in class. We asked about the students' reaction in class, and the career planning teacher said, when I use Mandarin in class, the students can grasp what I want to say. While I use English in class, they sometimes become sluggish. And the career planning teacher also told us she has tried some current methods to deal with the problems. The first one is to streamline the course contents, and the other one is to present the English terminology and activities processes on the PPT in advance. From the conversation above, we can realize that bilingual education will create difficulties for students in comprehension and adaptation. Therefore, bilingual teachers should adjust the Mandarin and English usage anytime to make students well absorb the in-class knowledge, and they should also balance the course schedules. It challenges bilingual teachers' ability to prepare for class. Last but not least, how to conduct class preparation and co-teaching with the foreign teacher. The career planning teacher said, I should do the class preparation with foreign teacher, but I didn't. We are still figuring out the best way to do it. From the conversation above, we can see that there is still a lack of the well collaboration between Taiwanese and foreign teachers, because the government still doesn't provide clear instruction in the bilingual education policy about the responsibility of the Taiwanese and foreign teachers. Hence, they need to figure out a way to conduct class preparation and co-teaching themselves. Besides, foreign teacher also said that he is worried about the subject he is majoring in, such as science. It raises another question. If the foreign teacher doesn't major in a certain subject, how does he or her conduct the class preparation and co-teaching with the Taiwanese teacher? And let's move on to the last part, conclusion and suggestions. In this part, we will review our essay and provide suggestions for the current bilingual education policy. After completing the essay, we found that our essay still has room to improve. For example, our literature resources and interviewees are limited. Therefore, we may not truly present all difficulties that bilingual teachers have met. The two limitations above are what we need to improve next time. And as for suggestions, first, we hope that government could increase the bilingual teacher education resources, such as setting up the language centers or workshops in all counties and opening the bilingual teacher education programs in the universities. It can not only help the in-service bilingual teachers understand the bilingual education better, but provide the chance for future bilingual teachers to be trained. The second one, clarifying the details of the bilingual education policy. Clear instructions can make the teachers more efficient and decrease mistakes when conducting bilingual education. The bilingual education policy started to be implemented not long ago, so it's inevitable that there are some flaws. However, we believe that with the rolling revising and reviewing, the goal of developing Taiwan into a bilingual nation by 2030 will be more likely to be achieved. And this is our reference. Thanks for listening.